think that I'm going to hiding somewhere by a gated star. Baby, they ain't never gonna find me. I'm a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. Burns inside me. I won't let you down. We could have the world to ourselves, going to a place that's far, staring at the stars for hours, 'cause you're a renegade. I could be the one who saved you from this hard place. We could be as one and we'll escape. We could run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. I can feel it, it burns inside me. We can run away, we don't gotta stay. I can feel it, it burns inside me. Take away the pain, we can go insane. Trust me, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Hey, I won't let you down.
never know until it happens.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special Friday night episode of the Hombre Live, celebrating my birthday. Yes, my birthday. Thank you guys for coming out and celebrating with me tonight. I appreciate that. Nothing I'd like to do more than hang out and talk tequila with you guys, have a good time, and enjoy ourselves. I'd like to know what you guys are sipping on tonight. Let's turn some music up. There we go. All right. Keep a little tunes going while we chat here and have some fun. Tonight I am sipping on the Dos Angeles Reposado. If you haven't tried the Rosa yet, the Rosa is amazing. I have the Reposado. I'm going to do the Reposado before I open up the Rosa. So I'm going to do the Reposado tonight. Drink that, enjoy it, and chat with you guys. Tell you a little bit about the trip that I just came back from in Mexico. Bourbon Baller Lee, thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that, buddy. And welcome. Bienvenido. Welcome to this live stream. We got some really great stuff to talk about tonight, man. Woo. The trip that I took to Mexico. See, there's some things a little different about what I do when I go to Mexico versus other things. Hey, Doc James, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate that, buddy. Bienvenido. Welcome. Agave Bobby Dell. Hey, Agave Bobby Dell's in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We're going to talk some tequila, talk about some cool things that are happening. Have a little fun, man. Talk about what we're drinking too tonight. What do you guys got in your glasses? What are you drinking with me tonight? For those of you that just are showing up now, which is fine, we just started. I'm drinking the Dos Angeles Caídos Tequila Reposado. I like the Reposado. It's good. I love the Rosa. The Rosa is really good. The Rosa is like my boo. I love that Rosa. So, a lot of stuff going on, especially for those of you that are members of the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, which thank you so much for those of you that are for supporting what I do. This whole trip that I spent in Mexico last week was basically done for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, working on some projects, some really cool things that we got happening. So tonight I'll talk about some of the stuff that we're going to be doing, which is really cool. Some of the batches. We're going to be getting some first stuff in the world. I mean, nobody else has had some of this stuff. We're going to be the first, which is really cool. And the brands are excited about that. And you guys are going to learn about the brands, learn about some producers that you guys don't hear about a lot because they're not really big into paying influencers and doing that stuff. So, instead, these are people that I know that, make really good products and, do things the right way, no additives, and are passionate about what they do, and their family's been doing it for generations. So I'm going to introduce you here in the next couple of months to some really interesting, cool people. So you'll like that. You got your Volans Blanco in the glass. Very nice. Okay, good stuff. Anything Felipe Camarena does is good. Where's the other one? I'm just going to... let me grab my other bottle. Hold on. I got bottles everywhere now. It's like... I just got a bunch of stuff. What did I do with it? I had it here. What did I do with it? Oh, I think it's over here. Hold on. All right, got it. Okay, we found it. Got so many bottles now. It's crazy to keep track of what's what and what's going on where. All right, so we got that. Okay, we'll talk about that. All right. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we're set. So what's going on, guys? What do you guys got set for the weekend? What are you going to be doing? You got anything cool in your glass tonight that you're sipping on that you want to share about? I'd love to hear about it. I just got Ensueño sent to me, so I'm going to be doing a review on this here soon. This just showed up to the Hombre Cave today. This is a collaboration. Sergio Cruz from 1414 worked on this with the guy from 1580, which is the same distillery that makes Hacienda or Herencia Mexicana. They used to make Ora Azul, which is a really good tequila from little whiles back that they no longer make anymore. They've made some good stuff out of there. Adam and Eva came from there, which used to be 1579, which they were known for their Blanco. But they also made some other really nice tequilas out of there. But they had an issue with the family. They were fighting amongst each other, so they closed the distillery down for a while. Now it's back up again. They're making a Herencia Mexicana out of there now. And then one of the guys from the family collaborated with Sergio Cruz to make this Ensueño tequila. So I look forward to doing the review and telling you more about this. So it should be really good. Sergio Cruz always does good stuff. And he was messaging me saying, oh, you just try it. It's like, yeah, I've got a bottle. They sent me a bottle. So he's excited about that too. So Agave Bobby Dale says he's got Siembra Azul Reposado in his glass. Very nice. That's a good one as well. So some of the stuff that's going on, coming back from Mexico, one of the things is, this is for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. We're going to be the first in the world to get this. And I had to double check to make sure that it is what it is, because I was kind of surprised. I was like, really? That's what's going to happen? But we're going to be getting, I got 2 bottles I'm going to do a review on. This is from Santo Fino. These are sample bottles for me to do a barrel tasting with for a single barrel. This is these are extra añejos. Both of these bottles are extra añejos. So I'll do the video recording. I'll do a video of this where we'll pick between one of these 2 if they're good, if I like them, and we'll get a single barrel of Santo Fino extra añejo, first ever. They've never done an extra añejo before. They weren't really planning on doing one. They told me they're probably not going to do it in the future, make an extra añejo. Instead, they're just going to blend what they have left in this into their añejo and use it to flavor the añejo. So it would be like a one-off shot where the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective would get like the only barrel, and it's only single barrel of Santo Fino extra añejo. So I'm really excited about that. I'll do a recorded video of the selection of that. This is for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. If you're not a member of the collective, it's a good group. It's a Discord based group where we get special buys like this that I put together, special projects that I work with, where I help them make and put together a special expression for us. And it's normally exclusively for us. It's $10 a month to be a member. The link is in the description. It's a big community too. Everyone posts stuff and shares things and chats and stuff. And then we have these special buys that we're doing. We have 2 barrels of San Matias Ground Reserva coming in that is going to be excellent. That'll be here next week. So that's going to kick off pretty much this year because things have been slow and they didn't come in when we thought they were. And with Mexico, you never know when things are going to come in. So that's going to be happening next week, the San Matias Ground Reserva. But then also anytime any kind of allocated bottles like the Siete Veces 10 that came out from Cascaween, that went all to the collective members that was allocated for ferment and still. So you get allocated bottles like that. We only got 6 bottles, and it was all the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective members bought them all. So they get allocated bottles, special access to allocated bottles like that, G4 stuff and all kinds of stuff as part of it as well. And then we do all kinds of really cool things where we'll send samples out so you guys can try stuff. And it's kind of just a really fun community that helps support what I do here with keeping things unpaid for, unbiased for the reviews that I do. And then also allows me to put together these amazing buys that get you access to stuff that, well, you wouldn't be able to get access to if you weren't a member of the collective. So we've got a really good membership group there. So if you're interested in joining, we'd love to have you join us and join in on the conversations. If you have a question for me, you can tag me in a post on Discord all the time. I always get in there and answer and help people out with things. So it's really, really good group. So, hey, sweet Cindy, bienvenida, welcome. Thank you so much. appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you. Welcome, bienvenido. Glad you can make it. Hey, ZZZ. What's going on? Hey, hombre. I haven't had my two favorite G4 and Fortaleza ages at my local stores, both at the same price. If I had to flip a coin, which would you go with? Not Fortaleza, G4, of course. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. You guys know by now that Fortaleza is overhyped. It's not that great. There's other things out there that I prefer more than Fortaleza, but G4 is great. I love G4. I have a whole cabinet full of G4, so I do enjoy that. I enjoy the Dos Angeles Caídos stuff now. I'm drinking the Repo right now. The Rosa is amazing. I'll drink that like all the time. I already polished off a bottle of the Rosa. I got another full bottle that I just got that's sitting on the shelf over here that I will drink probably later. Good stuff. I really enjoyed the people that with the brand. I wanted to kind of tell a story a little bit about that brand. I got a message from them that's like, hey, we'd like for you to do a review and try our brand. Would you be interested? I was like, sure. What the heck? So they sent me the Blanco and the Rosa, and I was like, okay, well, I'll get to set these up for a review. And the Blanco was good. It's good. It was nothing like amazing, great, but it was good. I enjoyed it. But the Rosa, I was like, whoa, this Rosa is really good. It's one of the best Rosas I've ever had. As far as the way the wine and the tequila go together nicely, it's not, there's no weird tannin bitterness or harshness or anything like that. Like if you ever tried Código's Rosa, it like burns. It's pretty hardcore. Theirs is really easy to drink and super delicious, where you get the wine notes they're coming through. It's from Tempranillo barrels from the Valle de Guadalupe. I was thoroughly impressed. So I reached out to him and I sent him the review video and reached out to him and was like, hey, this stuff's really good. Can you tell me where I can get another bottle? I'll buy a bottle. And they said, oh, it's only sold in Colorado. And so I was like, oh, well, we have to do something like that. Do something about that, because I'd like to get that for ferment and still, so my viewers and people that I know that would like to try it can try it. So actually, I worked with them for free. I didn't charge them anything. I did it for free to help them get distribution here in California, so we can get it for ferment and still. Set them up with people that I know, because I have contacts all over. I set them up with people that I know, and then got them distribution here in California, and now we're able to offer it on ferment and still. It took a little while for us to get the logistics in, because they had to get it to us from the state that it's imported into, and we got it, and now it's been shipped out. All the orders have been shipped out, and thank you for all you guys that pre-ordered it. Should be getting them soon, hopefully, if you haven't already gotten it. But it's really good stuff, and so it's currently now up for sale on Ferment and Still, just so we could help the brand, and so you guys could try it instead of having to fly to Colorado to buy it. So that's kind of what I'm all about. I'm all about doing things for brands, but I don't charge them for the stuff. I don't get paid for it. I make my money off the memberships here on YouTube as well as on the Discord. A little bit of money to help cover my bills, but that's about it. I don't charge any brands. All the brands that send me stuff for reviews, I never charge them for the reviews. I believe firmly in keeping things so I can be completely unbiased, and do things that tell you about things that I like, and not feel like I'm obligated to tell you that I like something when I don't. And if you didn't notice that with the Volan Still Strength review, where I used rubber chicken because I really couldn't talk after it was so hot. I don't know what would tip you off, and that's actually sold on Ferment and Still too. We got that just because people wanted it, but it's not something I personally would drink just because it's too hot. It was way too hot for me. It burned way too much. So there's things like that going on. So we have all kinds of projects that I'm working on coming from Mexico. One of the things that I wanted to make sure you guys knew about is that we're doing a special thing. Now, I want to kind of give you the story on this too. You probably heard me talking about the Paradas X Patria La Luna Mezcal. This is really like an ancestral tequila, okay? You've heard of of Siembra Valles Ancestral. This blows the socks off of Siembra Valles Ancestral. This destroys it. It makes it it makes that ancestral tequila, it's okay. That's how good this is. Now what basically happened is Salvador Chavez, he was a friend of mine. He owns La Luna. He also is the owner of Gran Duvejo, which is another tequila brand out of 1414. I've known him with Gran Duvejo longer than I've known him with La Luna, but his family owns La Luna. Him and his brother are partners in that, and his family has been doing it for a while. But he sent me a message and he goes, hey, I know we've been talking about trying to do a real like ancestral tequila for people to try. Not one that was done by a tequila distillery now trying to mock an ancestral. I wanted it to be like a true ancestral tequila so people can really get back to the roots of what tequila was like back in the day. And so we had been talking about that for a while, and actually talked about maybe doing a project where we did an ancestral tequila and actually had it registered as tequila. But there was issues with registering as tequila because his ancestral distillery was already certified with the CRM, and once it's certified with the CRM and it's done a mezcal there, the CRT won't certify it for tequila. But everything about this La Luna would fit as a tequila. So if he certified it for the CRT, this would be labeled as a tequila. But because the CRM, which is the organization that regulates mezcal, certified it, it has to be a mezcal. Otherwise, it would be a tequila. So he goes, hey, I did a batch of an ancestral tequila. It turned out, an ancestral tequila, but it's a mezcal. But I did it, an ancestral tequila style, and it turned out great. Would you be interested in it? And I go, well, it depends. Send me a bottle and let me do a review on it. And if I like it, then we could talk about doing something like this to kind of let people know what a real ancestral tequila would be like. And so he's like, okay, yeah. So he sent me a bottle, and I did the review on it. You guys have probably seen the review on the channel. We talked about it, and I said, it was really good. So I said, okay, let's do this. Except, we want to kind of help people because it's different. It's a different flavor profile than what you're used to with just tequila. So we're going to do a live tasting on May 23rd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Salvador's going to come on with me, and he's going to talk about how this was made and the history behind it and stuff like that. And then we'll do a live tasting where we'll walk you through how to taste it and what to look for. And then, since it's a different flavor profile, it's going to be a little different for you, and it may take some getting accustomed to, but I'll walk you through how to do that. Walk you through how to be able to later discern notes if you're not able to at that time. We'll check it when we do the live stream. You guys will be able to comment and ask questions here while we're doing the live stream, which I think will be fun and exciting. But it should be a really, really cool event. So if you haven't picked up your bottle of Paradas X Patria La Luna on Ferment and Still, and you want to do the tasting, grab it ASAP because we want to make sure you get it before the live stream on the 23rd so you can sip along with us and do this with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's something we've never done before, but I've always been big on doing the education part of things, and so I want to kind of help people guide them through it. I did a master class on tasting and developing your palate, and that went over really well. Everyone that participated really enjoyed it. So I think this would be kind of a fun thing to do. We're not charging for it or anything. You just need to get the bottle if you want to taste along. If you don't want to taste along, you can watch and then pick up the bottle later if you want. But this should be really good and a really good exposure to what tequila tasted like back when these people's great-great-grandfather were making it in their backyard when it was called Vino de Mezcal de Tequila. Before they safeguarded the name tequila and forced all these laws and stuff on it. This was back, way back when they were making it in the backyard and doing it the old school way. So that's going to be great. So put that on your calendar. We'd love to have you be part of that here on the live stream and participate in that. It's going to be fun. Another project I told you about, the Santo Extrañejo. We have a special single barrel that we're doing with Carrera. It's a double Madeira single barrel. So it started out aging in American oak, and then we transitioned to French oak. I actually worked with them on this, putting it together and creating the flavor profile with them, telling them what we wanted to do. And I did the selection. If you didn't see the video online, it's there, where you can see the tasting notes and stuff. It's fantastic. And I couldn't say this. I almost slipped and said it on the video when I was there with Mauricio and brought up another brand that, but I was like, oh. And I had to stop myself from mentioning another brand in the video because I didn't want to do that. But I think it's better than Raysol. I think it's better than the 10-year Raysol. So this is going to be special, and it's 52.2%. So it's going to be 104.4 proof, high proof añejo, and it's going to be really good. The flavors on it are just perfect. They're so good, and as much as I hate saying it, Raysol is my boo, but I think this is going to blow people's socks off and be better than the 10-year Raysol. So Sweet Cinity says she just poured my first drink. Chris Chelios is El Bandito Blanco, huge Blackhawks fan. Thought it was okay at first, but each pour seems to get, yeah, it's not bad. It's good. It's El Bandito Yankee is the real name, the complete name for it. And it's made by Juan Eduardo Nunez. I spent a day with him when I was up in Mexico, sitting with him talking. He also makes Santo Fino for Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri. So he's a good guy. He does things the right way. And we had a good time getting to know him. And I did a video of his distillery, so you can see the processes of how he makes tequila there. It should be a lot of fun. So you guys are welcome to ask questions instead of sitting there just watching me the whole time. Let's have some people ask some questions. Let's talk. But we do have that project coming on, and then we're going to do a single barrel of Don Abraham añejo. First time ever they've done a single barrel. I spent some time with them. I'm going to do the review of the whole line, which you guys will see here coming up here in a little bit. They have done some changes to the brand. It was good when it was before, but they've made it better. And so I can't wait to tell you guys about the new distillery that they're doing stuff with now, and some of the new stuff they're doing, which is great, amazing. I selected a single barrel with them, and it's gonna be coming in. We're gonna do that. It's for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective as well. Amazing añejo. It was aged in a Woodford Reserve barrel, and there's so much beautiful agave notes that are still present in it. And I tried 3 barrels, and this one by far blew the other 2 away. So we're really excited about that too for the collective. That's going to happen. We have the Viva Mexico Blanco special edition coming in. That was a special batch they did that they weren't originally wanting to share. They were going to keep it at the distillery to give people when they visited and stuff, but I talked them into selling me the whole batch. So they did. So this is going to be a one-off too. It's going to be high proof. So 46%, I believe, is the proof on it. So, or 46%. It's what, 92 proof. And it's fantastic. It's not like the regular Viva Mexico flavor profile. It's completely different, and it's fantastic. It's going to be really good. That's having issues with labeling right now, so it's kind of stuck in Mexico until the CRT gets the labeling stuff approved on it, and then it should be here. So that's coming too. We got a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a Rebel cask with Siempre. I got some bourbon expressions coming from them that were aged in bourbon barrels. I mean, we're going to blow the lid off the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective this year. It's going to be the best year I think we've had in a long time. So for those of you that are members, hold your hats. Be ready, because we're going to have some amazing stuff for you guys, and I can't wait for you to try it and let me know what you think. So have you tasted NOM 1414's Del Antero tequila? I thought it was meh, but the 5 others in my group loved it. Yes, it's just me. I have a bottle of it downstairs. I need to do a review on it. I was talking to Ilya. He's the owner of it last week about it. So I have a bottle. I'll do a review of it. It's coming up. So I'll let you know what I think when I taste it. But I haven't tried it yet. No, he gave me a bottle to do a review. Ilya's been with me, been a viewer of mine for a while. He did a mezcal originally, and I reviewed his mezcal, and it was good. I didn't mind it at all. I liked it. So now he did a tequila brand, and he's like, I want you to try it and let me know what you think. So he gave me a bottle. So I do have a bottle, and I will get a review done for that. So we got a bunch of reviews coming up for you guys as well. That's going to be a lot of fun to do, and I'll tell you about those in a second. Finally picked up my first Cascanes, straight fire. Can't wait for the new releases. Oh, well, you should have tried the old stuff. The old stuff blew the new stuff out of the water, but I'm glad you like it. Now Guitas, I'm glad you like it. I don't do Cascanes anymore. I like the old stuff. I'm not a big fan of the new stuff. There's other things I'd rather buy for the amount of money they're charging for that stuff now. So, but if you enjoy it, keep drinking it. Enjoy it. It's good. All right. So what are some other things I wanted to talk? Okay. So reviews coming up. I just got today, and if you watched Instagram, Four Copas. Four Copas is a brand that's been around for a while, and in the old days, their stuff was really good. It was really good. Well, it's been taken over by a really good master distiller now. She's been running it for a while, I guess. But they sent me bottles to do a review. I'm gonna have to do this review in 2 parts, and I'll show you why. Here. All right, so I'm gonna have to do this in two reviews, part 1 and part 2. And the reason being, if I don't know if I'm going to be able to stand afterwards. So this is just the reposados, right? They gave me 2 reposados. They gave me 2 blancos, 2 reposados, 2 añejos. One is a regular 40 proof repo. That's the 40 proof repo for 4 copas. The other one is 110 proof. Yeah, 110 proof. So I have 110 proof Blanco, Repo, and Añejo from them. And I have a regular 80 proof Blanco, Repo, and Añejo from them. So I'm going to review. I got the full set. They gave me the full set to do the review. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, the young lady that makes this, she's amazing. Really impressed with her and what she does. She's been around for a long time. She's part of the Partida family, and her name is Ileana Partida. I featured her. I put a post about her on Instagram. She owns her own distillery now, and she makes good stuff. She made that Quintaliza stuff, the coffee tequila. That's one of her projects. She's got a couple other brands she works on too, and this is one of them. So I'm looking forward to doing the review. And then I've actually asked her if she would come on and do an interview with me, and she said yes. So I'm excited to have her come on, and you guys could learn some more about her and about the history of the Partida family. For those of you that don't know, the Partida family is pretty big in the valley in Mexico. The Batch Nueva Uno, which is a really good brand that I like. I like the Añejo Deep. That's a relative of hers. That's Noemi Partida that does that. The Partidas also make a Zunia out of Rancho Miravalle, which is another good tequila that I enjoy. They used to make Partida tequila, but she told me the story about Partida tequila, and it's kind of an interesting story. But I'll let her tell that when we do the interview with her, so you guys can hear it straight from her on how that worked out and what happened. It was a really cool, interesting story. But so we're going to do that. I got those to do reviews. I got the full line of Don Abraham tequila to do the review of their new stuff, because they're using a new distillery now called La Roca, and I'll give you guys a tour of that as part of that video as well. I have some mezcals. We're going to start doing mezcal Mondays again, especially for people that like the La Luna live tasting that we do, and enjoy expanding their palates into different flavor profiles instead of just tequila. And like I said, I'll do the education and see what you guys see how you guys grow from that, and whether you fall down the rabbit hole. For those of you that do, we'll start getting into more mezcals and bacanoras and raicillas, and we got all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm gonna relaunch Mezcal Mondays, and hopefully you guys will be engaged in that and learn about other spirits, so you can expand your palates and get learn to be able to pick up more notes, discern things, and get a more polished palate, which would be kind of fun and cool. And we can all do this together, and I'll work with you on it. It's not a problem. I wonder if she's related to Miguel. They're all the partitas are related, so probably so. There's a lot of partitas, but it's a big family, so I don't know how closely related they may be, but they may be related. There's lots and lots of partitas. I have a friend, his name's Partita, but he's not related to any of them, that I know of, closely. He might be like a distant cousin or something, but I ordered some bottles online, and they sent me a bottle of Tapatio Blanco, which was a mistake, but I kept it and tried it. I really like it. Probably wouldn't have ordered, but now I'm going to get more. Yeah, Tapatio's good. Thanks, Howard. Tapatio's good stuff. What are your thoughts on siempre expressions? Well, I wasn't a fan of the Vivo. And the reason being is they did something really weird with that one, where they cook the yeast and the still, and it gives it, when you do that with fermentation, it causes the yeast cells to explode. And when they explode like that, because they get too hot, they release esters and off flavors, and it has a really bad bitter off flavor to it that I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of that whole process. But the regular Siempre that 1414 did, I enjoyed, and so they're sending me samples of the Rebel Cask, and so we're gonna do a Rebel Cask selection for single barrel. Those should be coming here next week, so look for that. We'll do a video on that as well. But that should be good. Have you ever tried Nosotros? And do you know the story of how the brand was started? Also, do you know if it's additive free? I tried the Repo and really liked it. Reasonably, yeah. It was started out as a college project, a business school project, and they ended up turning it into a business. Yeah, I've tried Nosotros. It's okay. It comes out of 1438, and I've never really been a big fan of anything that comes out of that distillery. We call it the candy factory, because they use more additives just about anybody else in Mexico. So I wasn't a fan of the brand. I didn't think it was that great. There's other brands I'd rather buy for the money and drink, rather than supporting a distillery that uses so many additives and stuff. So I don't mess with it. I think I still might even have a bottle of Nosotros somewhere over here that I just don't drink, because it's like okay. There's so many okay tequilas out there. It's like I'd rather drink the good ones and leave the okay ones for someone else to buy. I love Tapatio Blanco. Yeah, Tapatio Blanco is really good. The 110 is really good. So that was it. So tell you how I feel, honestly. It comes honestly. All right, so let me see. What else do we have? We got a bunch of stuff going on. We're going to be doing we talked about all the barrels for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So Ileana Partida. We're going to also bring on the gentleman that makes Dos Angeles Caídos. I was able to meet him when I was in Mexico. His name's Jaime Souza. Really good guy, really passionate tequila guy. I've asked him if he can come on and do an interview for us, so he said yes. So we're gonna start doing more things where you guys will get exposure to these producers, so you guys can ask questions and learn about them, learn about what they do, what their thoughts are and stuff, so you can get an understanding of who's making some of the tequila here that's out there that, then you can know whether you feel comfortable in buying it or not and supporting the brand. So we're going to have him come on. We're going to have Ileana come on. Salvador Chavez is coming on from La Luna. And we're going to line up some other brands too, so you guys can meet some brand owners and brand people. So we're going to start doing more of these things. So make sure, if you're not already subscribe so you don't miss learning about all these producers and stuff and how they do things. So then you'll know whether you want to buy stuff if you hear that they came out with it from their distillery or it's one of their products. You'll be more comfortable than wondering all the time, well, is it possible this has additives, and worry about stuff like that, where I don't worry about it because I know what producers don't use them, and I try to stick with those producers and those people, and stay away from the ones that use it, like 1438, where Nosotros is made. They just love additives there, as well as the Candy Castle, which is, we call it the Candy Castle because they built a castle at the distillery. It's like a brick castle, but they make the Additivo there and Cava de Oro and stuff. It's Hilardo Partida's Sweet Tooth Castle with his additives and stuff. So you got to know, if you know what distilleries like, just stay away from stuff that they make and don't support them, and then you'll be okay. You don't have to worry about the whole additives thing. That's why I asked the question about the Nosotros. I want to support the noms. They do it right. Yeah, well, 1438 is not one of them. You don't want to support them. They make like 150 something different brands, and it's Casa Maestre is the name of the distillery, and that even their house tequila is like really sweet. And if you like sweet tequilas, that's fine. Drink the sweet stuff. But if you're somebody who's worried about additives and doesn't want to deal with that, then they're not someplace that I would consider. Even if they said, "Oh, we don't use additives," and it doesn't mean you have to buy it and drink it and support them. I wouldn't. I avoid 1438 like the plague. So that's a way to deal with this stuff. It's just, know who you're buying from, and that's one of the things I'm going to try to do is bring more of the producers on that do things the right way, so you guys can meet them and know them and have a feeling about them and ask questions. You'll be able to ask questions of them and get to kind of see who they are and what they're all about. Alma de Jaguar Blanco and Rosa from Dos Angeles are currently in your cart because we might. Oh, thank you. Pulling the trigger soon. Nice. Yeah, the Alma de Jaguar Blanco's good. They just came out with a high proof too. We'll be getting that in a couple. They said it should be coming in a couple weeks, so we'll be getting that as well. Their Repo is really good. If you haven't tried their Repo, I'd like their Repo more than their Blanco. It's really good. So maybe pull the trigger on their Repo if you haven't tried it. I enjoy it. Their Blanco's good, but I prefer the Repo more personally. But they're good, and the Dos Angeles Rosa is amazing. It's so good. I need to order more bottles because I was like, didn't want to drink the one I have, because if I did it, then I would have to order more. So I want to make sure I order it and have it before I pop it open and drink it, because it's that good, and it goes fast. Literally, when I did the review for the Dos Angeles Rosa, the Dos Angeles Caídos Rosa, I was halfway through the bottle that afternoon already, and I was like, oh god, this is going way too fast. I drink it way too fast. It's so good, so easy to drink. And then I just got some notes today from some guys in the collective members who tried it and posted on the collective on Discord that they're like, this is really good stuff. It's like, I told you guys, I've got no affiliation with them. I'm not affiliated with the brand. If they ask me, hey, can you help us out and talk about the brand and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, but they don't pay me anything. I have no affiliation with them. It's just, I really liked their Rosa, and I'm not afraid to tell people about it. So a vendor came in with Escopar. Is it worth the buy or a pass? I'm not familiar with Escopar, so I don't know. I'd have to find out a little bit about it first. There's so many brands that are coming out from all these different places. It's like hard to keep track of all of them. So I couldn't tell you about Escopar, unfortunately. But do some research into it, or if you want to send me some information on it, I can look at it and see what it is. And there's so many people bringing all kinds of brands out, and some of these brands are just garbage. It's like they just got a brand to get a brand, Oh, we got to get a brand, got to get into the tequila world. Well, here's the deal too. Okay, trends. Let's talk about trends. Where things are going in the world of tequila, right? When I was in Mexico, not tequila, the tequila producing region, they cannot produce tequila fast enough. The agave are getting super ripe in the field, which is great, going to Coyote a little bit. So they're trying to get them before they get too far gone into Coyote, because if they don't, they start to rot in the field. But they're super ripe agave that they're pulling out, and they're cooking them, and they're making tequila with it to store, so they don't lose out on the good quality agave. There's lots of agave. So lots of things are happening. Prices of agave are coming down, as you probably heard before. There's a trend also where right now the hot thing in the industry is reposados. Reposados are the hot thing. Everyone's jumping on the reposado train. But here's what's also happening is there's a movement towards blancos now. So we're going to see a lot more blancos and people looking at blancos now, because blancos are becoming the thing. Not only regular blancos, but 40 proof blancos, 80 proof blancos, 40% blancos, but also 110 proof or high proof blancos are also becoming a trend now. And so people are moving away from the aged stuff somewhat. There's still a lot of bourbon drinkers and stuff that like the aged stuff, which is great. But we're seeing a lot more people too that not only enjoy the aged stuff, but also blancos. So don't be afraid of blancos. That's going to be the trend. You're going to see all kinds of really good blancos coming out. And now that they have all these really ripe agave, you're going to get some really nice flavor profiles. Things are going to change. They're going to get more. You're going to get more agave notes in them. They're going to do more things with fermentation. We're going to see some really good tequila coming out, a good quality tequila, which is great, which is a good thing. Now, of course, it's cyclical. So what's going to happen is it's going to go like this, and then it's going to come back up where there's going to be a shortage, and then because people are whipping out agaves and feeding them to cattle at low, cheap prices, and then they're planting corn and other things. But the smart people are still planting agave because they know when the cycle hits again, they'll be ready for it and be able to take advantage of it. So Nom 1431. Well, I don't know. I can look it up. But I'm tired of hearing the same 7 to 9 brands from the tequila community, such as G4, Fortaleza, Cascabel, El Tesoro, Ocho, Tapatio, Siete Leguas, El Tequileño, and Lalo. There's so many other brands. Exactly. Yes, there is. I am one of the few that talks about the other brands. Don't you think so? You know what happens? The reason why you hear from those other brands is because there's people there that are being paid to talk about them. There's influencers. I'm not an influencer. I don't accept money. I don't accept payment for reviews. I don't accept payment to talk about brands. I don't accept payment from the brands at all, period. I'm funded by you guys. I'm funded by the users. I don't make any money. I don't make any money from any brands. You ask any brand that I've ever reviewed or done projects with or anything, they have never paid me a dime. Nothing. I have no ties to anybody. I'm my own person. But they also know that if I don't like something, I'm going to say I don't like it. And it's nothing personal. I'll give them feedback. And if they want help on trying to make it better or whatever, then I can help them. And I've done that. And what I do is I fly out to Mexico and help them on my own dime. But what I ask is that, look, if we do something really cool, as your way of saying thank you to me, let me buy a whole batch of it so we can do it as an exclusive for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And that helps me get my membership going for the collective. They get something special that they wouldn't be able to normally get. And it's a benefit and stuff for all of us. So that's the way I work. I don't make money I don't get paid by the brands, where a lot of these other guys get paid by the brands to do stuff. So you hear about the same brands over and over again. Lalo, Cascanes, G4, all these brands that are paying these guys to do things for them. I don't accept that. I don't get paid that way. Happy birthday! Thank you so much. Long live the hombre. Thank you so much, Dominique. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the kind words and the birthday wishes. But Hey Zero or Hey whatever that is. I talk about a lot of other different brands, right? We talked about Ensueño, which I'm going to be doing a review of. We talked about Don Abraham. We talked about Four Copas. Dos Angeles. You don't hear anybody else talk about Dos Angeles. I was the first one talking about that. I brought that up. They're going to be big. Once people try the Dos Angeles Rosa, they're going to get big. Mark my words. Everyone's going to be talking about Dos Angeles. Let's give it 5-6 months. In another half year, people are going to be talking about the Reposado and the Rosa, the Dos Angeles Rosa. People are going to be talking about and posting pictures of it and trying to get likes by talking about how good that Rosa is. And just remember, you heard it from here first. I talked about it first. What is it? I'm good with the brands we talk about. 7 brands I truly enjoy. Happy birthday and many more, hombre. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. MVU S909. Thank you. Yes, I like to get you guys exposure to other brands that I know about that are good quality, that I think you'd enjoy, and that I can stand and say, this is a good quality, trust me, enjoy it. Hey, John, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate that too. This is fun. But anytime I come up with a brand that I like, I go crazy about it. And I know I've gone crazy about some things, especially like the Carrera 54, but it's because I truly believe that it's an amazing high proof Blanco, that I actually worked with them on it, and it came out so good that I was like so pleased that it's great. Oh, okay. NVUS 909. Okay, got it. I didn't know. 909 is well, that's an area code here in Southern California, but NVU Nevada, or I don't know. But salute. I'm having some Dos Angeles Reposado now, so you're going to hear about a bunch of different other brands from me. I love exposing you guys to new things, new people too. It's not always Felipe or Carlos or Guillermo Salza. It's going to be other people that you don't hear a lot about, that you should hear a lot about, so you can understand how some of these other people make things and do things, and you'll be seeing them with interviews with me here. And so the newer stuff from Vulcan is nice, and Cierto is good brand. I like. Hope to see more love from them. Yes, Cierto is good. I did a review of Cierto. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have the chief growth officer from Cierto on for an interview, so you guys can see, hear the story from him and learn about him. I knew that I think they pay some influencers or something, but I don't get paid from them. They've never paid me a dime. But I enjoyed their aged expressions. I thought their Blanco was a little pricey for what it is. But their aged expressions, their Repo is delicious. The Extra Añejo is really good, especially if you enjoy a good stogie. It's really good with a stogie. So I enjoyed that one. Cierto's good. What else did you say? Newest to Vulcan. Vulcan's okay. I'm not a huge Vulcan fan. There's some other brands I'm going to introduce you guys to that I prefer more. So you'll hear some things, see some reviews and stuff popping up. Just make sure you watch the reviews, even if you don't recognize the name. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. you may see the thumbnail and it talked about a brand that you're not familiar with. Just watch it anyways, because you'll learn about a new brand, you'll learn about a new producer, because I go deep into the details. One of the things that's different about me versus other people as well is that I'm very hands-on. So when I go to visit a distillery, I'm just not just standing there with the camera going, okay, tell me everything I need to know, sell me. I'm actually in the distillery doing things. And so I think that kind of people love it. The producers love it. I'm like checking things out. I'm in the agave looking at things or helping with things. I'm looking at the machinery and we're helping them run things and doing things. And I'm really involved. And it's because I love this. I know a lot about production. I've been involved in it for years. And they know that I can do all this stuff. And so a lot of times they'll say, hey, we're working on a project. You mind helping us out with something? And so if you watch the review I posted on the barrel selection and stuff, for Carrera, this new single barrel that we did, I worked with them on creating the flavor profile and putting that together. That was a project we did together. Same with the Still Strength, the Carrera 54. That's something we did together. And to say thank you to me, they did the name tag. I didn't ask them to do it. They wanted to do it. I told them you don't need to do it, but they still wanted to do it because when I went out there to help them, I paid for my airfare. I paid for my hotel. They bought me some breakfast and lunch every once in a while, but I paid for everything else. I covered my own expenses. I don't bill them to do stuff like that. But I just go out to help them because they're really good people. And I really believe in what they do and how they do it. And now, Mauricio, they've become really good friends of mine now. They're like my family in Mexico. I know if I go to Mexico and I need something, I can always call them, the Camarenas, and they would help me with whatever I need. And that's the kind of relationship I have with them. But Mauricio's decided he wants to launch a catchphrase for himself. So his catchphrase is, let's get the ball rolling. And he has a hard time saying it. So when you watch the reviews, I can't help but laugh on the videos and stuff I have, because he's like, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get the ball. And he has a hard time saying it, but when he finally gets it out, it's so funny and kind of cute. So if you see Mauricio on one of the videos on the Carrera thing, make sure you just do a hashtag, let's get the ball rolling for him. It makes him really happy, and you can even comment back, let's get the ball rolling. He loves it. So we have a good time with it. You'll see I comment on a lot of their posts now and say, let's get the ball rolling, and it's great. So got a bottle of San Matias Gran Reserva Extra Neo. Nice. We're going to be doing 2 barrels of that for the collective, and they're handpicked by me. I selected the 2 best barrels there at the distillery. So we have some amazing bottles, better than the normal stuff that's blended that they do. These are single barrel stuff that I handpicked. We have 2 great barrels coming in, and the barrels are completely different, where one's more like an afternoon aperitif sipper and the other one's more like a nice dessert Extra Neo. Beautiful, really good flavor profiles. The collective members are gonna love it. So if you're not a member of the collective, you might want to join. The links in the description. $10 a month, you get access to some really great stuff and a great community too. Everyone there is really cool. We get along really well. So you don't like Vulcan? Yeah, Vulcan. Yeah, Mr. Spock. Yes. I have one. I got their, what is it, their repo that I need to do a review on, the tall blended repo thing that I need to do a review on. So I do have that. Let's get the ball rolling. Yes, classic. Yeah, and it's funny because he says to me, he goes, Mark Hombre, and I go, yeah. He goes, I come up with a catchphrase. I want to do a catchphrase. I said, okay, what's your catchphrase? And he's like, he goes, I know a lot of people in the U.S. like to say this, so I figured I'll do it because then it will make me feel like I am like with you guys in America. And I go, okay, what's your catchphrase? And he's like, let's get the ball rolling. And I go, oh, let's get the ball rolling. That's the catchphrase you? And he's like, yeah. And I go, oh, that's an awesome catchphrase. And he goes, do you guys say it a lot? I go, no, my grandfather used to. And Eduardo started laughing. Like, we tried to tell him, it's embrace it. He wants it. Let's do it. So let's get the ball rolling. He throws that out on all his videos now, and it's just so funny. You go watch his channel. The Instagram channel for Carrera Tequila. He's doing some videos now on on production and stuff, and he's trying his hardest, and God bless him. He's just the nicest guy ever. I love him to death. He's like my brother. He calls me Hermano. I call him Hermano. I call his son Eduardo Sobrino, so like my nephew. He calls me Tio. I mean, it's like I'm part of the family, and so let's embrace let's get the ball rolling thing, and let's help him with it, and use the hashtag on Carrera stuff, and comment on the Carrera posting. Let's get the ball rolling, and it would make his day, and that I'm all about, keeping his day made. So, oh, thank you, Calvin. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and welcome, bienvenido. Glad you could make it. You like Dos Artes, the Añejo face clay bottle? Picked up one to try. That's the extra Añejo, I think. That one's not good. If you're looking at Dos Artes, I'll show you which bottles to get. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me see. Where are they? Are they over here? Let's see what case I put them in. Oh, I know where they're at. They're back here. Okay, hold on. I'll show you. All right. So the two you want to look at, if you're looking for Dos Artes and you want the nice clay bottles, it doesn't have the face. The face, I think, is extra Añejo, I think. That's the Dia de los Muertos stuff they do, and that's additive tequilas in it. It's these bottles. This is one of them. It's the Dos Artes Plata. And what you want to look for on the ones to know that there's no additives in it and it's done well is you want to look for the nom on it. So looking at the nom, let's see if I can get it close enough to show you guys. You want to look for 1588 right here. So 1588 is El Mexicano. They made the Plata form. They made the Joven form as well. This is also, and this is under they call the Classico edition. So these are no additives. These are pure, good traditional tequilas, and it's also 1588 on the gnome on it. The nom or gnome or whatever you want to call it right there, 1588. So it is El Mexicano. They make this for them. Good, really good stuff. And you get a really nice ceramic bottle that looks beautiful too. That's the Banuelos family that makes these for them, which is the family that started Cazadores. Or they sold it to Bacardi, and Bacardi ruined it. So, but and if it says 1588 on it, there's no additives. If it doesn't say 1588 on it, it's going to be sweet. And if you like sweet tequilas, that's fine. If you enjoy the sweet stuff, buy it. Then you'll like it. It'll be right up your alley. But if you want to try a natural one and you want the nice bottles and stuff, then go with the Dos Artes with the 1588 gnome on it. So. Went to Binny's to buy a Rete Repo, which I really like. Saw a Blanco called Espero. 1 liter on sale for $19.99. Regular price $29.99. I think it's solid Blanco. You cannot beat the price. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad you like it. When I don't listen, I grab the wrong stuff. Well, don't grab the wrong stuff. If it doesn't say 1588 on it, don't pick it up if you don't like sweet tequila. If you like sweet tequila, pick it up because it will be sweet. And there's nothing wrong with liking sweet tequila. So let's talk about the additives thing for a second, okay? Because, things have happened with the additive world and people are flying off the cuff, getting ridiculous about it. When you sit down and talk to the producers about additives, the first thing I ask them is say, okay, look, you know what's going on with the additives and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. So what do you think about additives? And they go, They're additives. They are what they are. Some brands use them, some brands don't. I don't use them. I don't need to, but there's some brands that need to. And if people like it and want to drink it, let them drink it. You know, there's nothing in there that's poisonous. Nothing in there that's going to hurt you. Nothing in there that's going to make you sick. It's stuff that you consume every day. There's a lot of things in your pantry every day that have the same stuff that they put as additives in it. So they used it as a boogeyman, is what they did. They created a boogeyman to scare people. Okay, let's talk about what additives are, okay? So here's the deal. With additives, and what additives are about, is that some people's production techniques are lacking. They're not good. And they can't produce. One of the things with tequila is you can't produce stuff that consistently tastes the same. One of the beauties of the world of tequila is that you can buy two blancos from the same brand, from two different batches, and they'll taste completely different from each other. And it's because of what we're dealing with. We're dealing with agave that are grown in different fields, different times of year where there's different stuff in the air, different yeast working, different temperatures. So you're fermenting at a hotter temperature, it's going to create a different flavor profile than fermenting at a cooler temperature in the early spring. So to compensate for that, brands are allowed to use additives so they can create a flavor profile that they can alter in a lab at the distillery by themselves and make everything taste the same. So no matter, like Clase Azul, no matter what bottle of Clase Azul you buy, it's going to taste the same as every other bottle of Clase Azul because they manipulate it in a lab to make it taste that way. So additives that are allowed to be used, there's what they call calming additives, which are your oak extract, which oak extract comes from barrels. It's from wood. So just by putting a Blanco in a barrel, you get oak extract. Congratulations. It's already in there. Second is vegetable glycerin. And they add vegetable glycerin to make it, if it's thin, it'll make it so it has legs and looks better in the glass. It coats the glass better, gives you a better mouthfeel. Another thing is simple sugar, simple syrup. Makes it sweet, more palatable. If there's something in there that's offensive, that can take care of it. That's also a calming additive. They can use sugar, they can use agave nectar, they can use a bunch of things, even artificial sweeteners, but no one uses artificial sweeteners. I've heard people say aspartame, and it's like, okay, look, no one's going to put aspartame in there because aspartame has a shelf life. It gets a little warm, it goes bad. Then they have to basically buy back all their bad. No one uses aspartame. I've never found anybody that was dumb enough to put aspartame into a tequila. Never. It's usually simple syrup with sugar or agave nectar, or they use glycerin as a sweetener, which is fine. None of that stuff will hurt you, except the added sugar if you're like a diabetic or whatever. But most of the time, they don't even put added sugar in it. They'll use vegetable glycerin because it's cheap. It's cheaper. And then they can also use flavoring additives like vanilla and caramel flavoring to enhance the flavor profile. So if you ever tried like Clase Azul, it's really sweet, tastes vanilla and caramelly. It's because they have vanilla and caramel syrups in it and stuff to add flavor. So how do you know if something's got additives? Okay, if you want to know if something's been added, it's really easy to tell. Most of the time is if you taste it and it's one-dimensional, which means all you taste is like really sweet and vanilla. As all you taste is vanilla. You know they've added vanilla flavoring to it. And if it's really super sweet and syrupy, they add vegetable glycerin to it. You can tell just by tasting it. And if you really want to test it and see with vegetable glycerin, if you think something has vegetable glycerin in it, put some in a pan and put it on the oven. And I even did this on my channel. And just turn it up under low heat and dissolve off the alcohol in the water, and you'll see if there'll be a gelatinous, like jelly, sweet substance on the pan. That tells you that's vegetable glycerin. Everything else, if there's nothing added, everything else evaporates off. One of the reasons why you can't tell that artificial flavoring has been done, like vanilla and caramel flavoring, is because it's suspended in alcohol, first of all. So if you try to evaporate it off, it's going to disappear. It's going to evaporate off. But secondly, there's vanillin, which is the main ingredient in vanilla, and then there's caramelized sugars from the wood that give you the caramel flavor, already in the tequila coming from the wood, coming from the barrel aging. So they can detect that it's there, but they can't detect whether it was added or if it came from the barrel. There's no way to tell. So that's why there was the deceptive part of it by saying you can't detect stuff, because it's already in there, and there's no way to tell if it was added or if it was put in there. So that was the deceptive part that they stopped, because the CRT is the verification wing for tequila. They're responsible for being able to prove anything that's on the label. They're responsible for it. They have the labs. They are the ones that are supposed to do all that. And there's some things you can't test for, so you can't. So some people were deceived into thinking the stuff was 100% additive free and completely additive free, when in fact it could not possibly be additive free. But it filled a narrative, and they used that to their advantage, and that's what happened. So don't be afraid of additives. They're not going to hurt you if they have them. If you like it, drink it. If you want to try the natural stuff, that's what I recommend. You get a more robust, complex flavor profile from stuff without additives, where if you have additives added to stuff, it makes it one-dimensional, and you only taste like maybe like vanilla or caramel, and that's it. You won't pick up any complexities in any of the wonderful flavor notes that you should from a good quality tequila. Hey, Otto, thank you so much for the birthday wish. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's awesome. Thank you so much. And welcome. Bienvenido. Glad you can make it. So most of the producers I talk to don't really care that people are using additives. Some of them do. Some of them like the fact that they got the promotion and the advertising from participating in a program like that. But a lot of them didn't like the divisiveness that it caused, and the problems, the rift that it caused in the industry, because it pitted people against each other. And they're like, a lot of the producers I talk to are pretty stand-up people, and they're like, we'll never insult another brand. They need to do what they want to do to sell their tequila and to target their audience, so let them do it. Exactly. Did you see any interest from Mexicans regarding making whiskey when you were in Mexico? It would make sense to do so since there's so many varieties of corn to use. No, I don't get into the whiskey side of things. I was in the tequila world, so it was all agave spirits there. I know that they do have some whiskey distilleries there, but I'm not a whiskey person, so I don't pay that much attention to it. But I do know that there's some places that make whiskey there. They do have a lot of corn. But they do different kinds of corn though too. It's not your typical regular like whiskey corn. They do blue corn and black corn and stuff like that. So for tortillas and maize. But yeah, I mean, I've seen they actually have a Mexican rum that they make too from Mexican cane sugar, which is, I haven't tried it. It's supposed to be pretty good, but there's all kinds of stuff. But I stick mostly with agave spirits. That's all I basically do. Agave spirits and sotos, which are kind of a cousin to agave spirits with the Daisylirium, the soto plants. Daisylirium, the Daisylirium plant. So it's the same kind of thing. It's a succulent, just like the agave are, but it's a desert spoon is the class of plant. So if you haven't tried sotos, we'll get into sotos too. Those are a lot of fun. I like a good soto. All right, so I'm gonna have a sip now that no one asked the questions. So find what you like and drink what you like and enjoy it. Don't let anybody else dictate whether you can like it or not. But if you want to try the natural stuff, I'd be more than happy to guide you towards stuff that I enjoy that doesn't have additives. I'm not a big fan of sweet tequila. I started out as a fan of sweet tequila. My first tequila that I really drank was Cava de Oro, which is syrupy caramel stuff, but I didn't know any better. But it was a kind of a gateway for me, and I enjoyed it. But then I grew out of it and didn't like the sweet, overly sweet profile after I started learning about the new stuff. So you still sipping? Yes, I'm still sipping on the Dos Angeles. Yes, I still have the repo. Yeah, I have a couple more things I'm probably going to crack open here before I'm done. One of the ones that's like my birthday, a birthday sip for me is, see this one right here. That's the San Matias 135th anniversary blend of all their añejos. It is so good. Oh my God, it is so good. They took all of their añejos, barrels of all the añejos they made. So it's like Pueblo Viejo, Orgullo, which it was the last barrel ever of Orgullo añejo. Last one ever. And they did Reysol and the Taona, like all of their añejos, and they blended them together to create this special project. And so it is absolutely delicious. And my girl Rocio, the one that's their master distiller now and their blender, she does such a good job with San Matias' stuff, making sure the agave is still there. I just like, every time I go and see her, I always give her a big hug, and I've known her for years. I first did barrel picks with them. We were the first to get the first 2 barrels of Reysol 10 year because of my relationship with San Matias. And so I've known her for years. And so every time I go and she hears I'm there, she always comes down from the distillery to the offices to do a barrel pick with me and stuff. And she's absolutely incredible. I knew her from when she originally was just the barrel person. She was like the taster, the barrel taster person, where she would sit with you and taste, and you compare notes. And our tasting notes were always like almost identical, to the point where she's like, I'm really impressed with the way you pick flavor notes out. You know, she goes, you're one of the people that I've like saying yes all the time, where I get a lot of times I get people with crazy notes and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So we become really good friends, and she did the blending on this, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It is so good. The only problem is it's $400, so it's an expensive bottle. So I don't drink that often, because it's like, oh, I have to replace it, and then I have to buy another $400 bottle of the San Matias. But if you haven't picked up a bottle yet, try it. It's really good stuff. It's the San Matias 135th anniversary blended añejo, and it's really good. I also have the El Tequileño extra añejo there, the crystal bottle. That's really good. I've got the El Tesoro 85th anniversary up there that I was going to pull down too. The Diablito Rojo, which is the 123 Organics Diablito, which was aged in Napa Cab barrels, which is really good. I got a bunch of really good stuff here that I crack open for my birthday. Are you related to Andrew Zimmern by any chance? I have no idea who that is. No idea. No, I'm not. How were you first introduced to the tequila world? I heard you mention you were a beer guy first. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I was. I'm a national champion home brewer, so I started out brewing, and I studied fermentation. I studied brewing and really worked at it. I used to brew a lot of beer, a lot. But I really learned a lot about fermentation and stuff, and then by focusing on fermentation, I was able to create like the cleanest beer. And so I won a national championship for a beer that I made. It's a Belgian saison that was pumpkin spiced. So with the Belgian Saison, I put pumpkin in the mash, and then during the boil and stuff, I added nutmeg, cinnamon, and cloves, and I had to create my own way of incorporating the pumpkin in the mash, because otherwise it causes the mash to stick, which means the water doesn't flow through it, so you're not getting a good extraction to get the sugars and stuff out of the grain and out of the pumpkin. So I created my own way of doing that. I got creative and did it, and then it came out perfect. It was like the perfect winter holiday beer. And all my neighbors, I used to give it out to my neighbors. I used to just give it to them as holiday gifts in bigger, like 40-ounce bottles. And they all loved it. And so I entered it into the national homebrew competition, and I won first place in every single step. It was unanimous. First place, all the way up to national championship, won first place. So then I got, tired of doing beer all the time. And I'm like, okay, well, what's next? So I got into bourbon, tasting bourbons, and bourbon never sat right with me. It always burned too much, and I got indigestion and stuff from it. And I was like, bourbon's really not doing it for me. So we had timeshare in Cabo San Lucas, and my wife and I were there one time, and we decided to stop by a tequila store and do some tequila tasting. So then I started trying tequila, and I liked it. I was like, this is really good. So then when I came back to the U.S., I sat down and I'm like, I really like this tequila. Let me research it, because I'm kind of a research person. I'm really good at like looking things up and researching things. And so I started researching tequila and found some groups and stuff. And then one of the things that I'm really good at too is connecting with people. Networking, right? Networking, connecting with people and connecting people. It's one of the things that's like I really excel at. So I started reaching out to the producers and stuff and asking them questions. And like, we asked some really good questions. You seem really knowledgeable and know what you're talking about. Well, yeah. So then I started becoming friends with them. And then I was looking for reviews. And I'm not kidding you. The reviews were like this. I don't have a shot glass, but pretend this is a shot glass, okay? And you'd see a guy there like, hi, I'm Frank, and today we're going to review Ensueño Tequila. It's produced with Weber Blue Agave. It's like, okay, all right. So let's pour some in the glass, and they go, okay. Here we go. And they go, smooth. And I was sitting there going, what? What does that mean? What are they talking about? So I'm like, I can do better than this. I can do better than that. So I said, I'm gonna start doing reviews. And then I started hearing about barrels and people doing single barrels. And I'm like, I was in a Facebook group, and I'm like, hey, have you guys ever thought about buying barrels as a group and doing it that way instead of having to be affiliated with a liquor store and having to be near a certain store to do it, instead buying it as a group? And I had a bunch of people come back to me and say, you can't do that. Instead, I have issues with the people telling me I can't do things. Like, you can't do it. Everyone's failed before. And while they're telling me that, I have somebody sending me a DM saying, I can help you do that. And I'm like, okay. So I'm ignoring these people. They're telling me I can't do it. And I'm talking to the guy that says I can help you do it. And he worked with Sazerac. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I said, okay, I got the ability to get barrels. So I set up the Tequila Barrel Collective. Okay, it was just called the Tequila Barrel Collective at first. It's been around for 8 years now. I set it up and I said, okay, let's do some barrel buys. And so I said, okay, let's do that. So then I told everybody, hey, I'm going to start setting up some barrel buys. And people were like, oh, no, don't listen to him. He's going to rip you off. He's a con man. And I'm like, I'm not a con man. I'm going to do barrel buys. And so I was coordinating with the guy from Sazerac. And then he's like, all right, let's do it. I'm going to send you to Mexico. You're going to go to San Matias. And you're going to pick a barrel. So I said, okay. So I flew to San Matias, paid for it myself. Flew to San Matias, booked a hotel. I flew to Guadalajara. They picked me up at the hotel, took me up to the distillery, and I picked a Blanton's Añejo Eagle Rare Reposado. Want to see I still have the bottles. Want to see them? All right. right. All right, so these were the first barrel buys that Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective ever did. Okay, so this is the Corazon de Agave, and you see that says Reposado, single barrel Reposado, and then if you look at our badge, it has the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective name on it right there, the logo. And then it's the single barrel stuff. And then on the other side, it says Eagle Rare, because this came out of an Eagle Rare barrel. So this is an Eagle Rare single barrel Reposado from Corazon de Agave. This was one of our first barrels. We got this one, and we got this one too, which is Blanton's. So this is the same thing. It's got the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective metal on it with our logo. It says Lit 1 on it. And then this says Blanton's. This and was really good. Both of these were actually really good. So we got these two barrels, and then they said, hey, do you want to do a Grand Reserva barrel too? And I said, sure, why not? So we got a Grand Reserva barrel then too, and I handpicked it, and it was really good. So then I said, okay, we're gonna do this with the collective, and then everybody was saying, no, the barrels are fake. He's a con man. He's going to rip you off and take your money. And some people were scared, but I'm like, I would never do that to people. I'm not that kind of person. And like, no, he's going to rip you off. He's a con man. And then the barrels landed and everyone got their stuff. And then everyone was saying back to them, no, he's not. He got us everything we delivered. I never collected a dime from them. The retailer does it, because we deal with retailers to get these. The retailer collected the money and shipped the stuff to them, and everybody was taken care of, and everybody got good stuff. So my friendship there with San Matias started developing. There was a lot of people that were in the Facebook group that were other producers that were like, we saw what you did. Would you be interested in doing stuff with us? And I'm like, absolutely, yeah. Let's do more stuff. So San Matias came back and said, we're going to do single barrels for Raysol. We know how much you like Raysol, and I love Raysol. Raysol is like, I said, absolutely. And they said, well, we'd like to offer you the first barrel or two barrels if you want. And I'm like, oh yeah, that would be great. It was amazing. So I flew out to Mexico a second time, and we selected two Raysol 10-year barrels. The first two selected. We got them. I got to pick the best ones. They let me go through all the barrels and pick the ones that I like best. And we had two phenomenal barrels, two completely different, just like the San Matias Grand Reservas we're doing now, where one is like a really nice, robust dessert style extra añejo, where the other one was more of an aperitif afternoon sipper that didn't blow your palate out. And we got those two barrels in, set up with a retailer. The retailer screwed us, for lack of a better word. I arranged a better price because they messed up and stuff, but instead of the retailer giving us a better price, they made more money on it and charged us the regular price on it, which really upset me. And I'm not into calling out who did it, Sip Tequila, but they weren't very nice, Sip Tequila, to what they did to us, so we never used them again, Sip Tequila. So after that, we did the first two barrels of G4 5-year extra añejo. We were the first group to get that. We blew it up here in the United States. The Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective did. And they were getting calls from states all over the place looking for it. We were also, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective were also the first to get the 108 proof G4. Because of my relationship with Felipe Camarena and the G4 brand, we were able to get some really special stuff from G4. And G4's got a really big place in my heart because I've loved the brand, and I was part of helping them grow that brand from the beginning when I found it and loved it and talked about it. And so it was really good. And some of the guys that are still members of the collective will tell you that all this is true. This is all stuff that happened. For those members that have been members for as long as I've been running it, which a lot of people will stand by and say, yeah, the stuff that we do on there is incredible. So we've done now probably about 15 different kind of barrels. We've done our own batch of Blanco with the Carrera 54 that we did, that we opened up to everybody because it was way too much than what everybody in the collective could buy out straight out. We did a batch of Vago Mezcal, which was really good. It's still on the Ferment and Still website. It's still really good, and I highly recommend it for people that are looking to move from tequila to mezcal and want to try something that has no smoke, but more of a sweeter, kind of a berry bubblegum kind of flavor profile to it. It's really interesting. It's really good. There's no additives in it because you can't use additives in mezcal. And then we have the La Luna batch, the ancestral batch we did, that's a Pachuga, which has a pomegranate in it. So because we did other things besides just barrel stuff, we kind of just altered the name a little bit to the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, and that way we can include mezcals and special batches of other things in there, not just barrel stuff. And the group's growing. We've gotten a good amount of people in there now. We're doing all kinds of great projects. A lot of the producers know who we are and know what I do, and I have great relationships with them because they know I would never do anything to violate their trust. And whenever they need help with something or want connections with people, they know they can reach out to me and I will help them the best I can without charging them a dime. Zero. I'm one of these people that believes that you give without thinking about whether you're going to get something back, and it'll come back to you eventually. So I believe in giving, and I believe in helping people. I believe in connecting people, and I believe in helping them be successful if I can, and do what I can to, make sure that I can help them any way possible. So, what is that? Can't be too involved with the brands or else you'll be viewed. Yeah. Oh, well, I'm never involved too much with the brands. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for is that $10? Thanks for the $10 super chat. Wow. Thank you so much, Dominique. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not affiliated with any brands. I don't get any payment or anything from them. I do talk about brands that I like a lot because I get crazy. When I like something, I like to talk about it. I like to tell people about it, and I like to get people to try it and see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I get crazy sometimes, and I promote stuff that I really, really like and I really, really think you should try. But it's not because there's any monetary backing or anything behind it. It's just because I believe in the brand. And that's one of the things the Camarenas will tell you. They're like, yeah, no, we don't pay him anything. He just loves what we do. And he's part of our family now. So they'll tell you that. Blanton's Eagle. No, one was a Blanton's Añejo and Eagle Rare Reposado. That's the barrel that they were in. Hey, thanks, Kevin. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Glad you could make it. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Gonna grab a tequila shot in your arm. Well, thank you so much. Salud. Here, let's salud. What is that? Additive tequila. Additive added tequila is more prone to end in a hangover even when drinking in moderation. Not necessarily. I don't agree with that. The hangover comes from the poor production, so it's more of like if they didn't do a good job on the cuts and there's too much methanol in there, then yeah, it has nothing to do with the additives. It's the other stuff in there. The hangover really comes from methanol that's not cut out, and so it's not. But even drinking G4 or whatever, you can get hangovers from that if you drink too much of it. You drink too much of any alcohol, you're going to get a hangover. And nothing's hangover proof. That's just a bunch of malarkey. But you're less likely to get a hangover with the stuff that's made right, that doesn't have too much methanol and stuff, and the cuts are done right on it, than the stuff that's just like Cuervo and stuff where they use column still and they just use turbo yeasts, so it's got like all kinds of esters and stuff in it, and just stuff that's not good because it's not done right. That's the stuff that'll make you sick. So Who are your ops? You say you have people hating on you, but we need names. No, I'm not going to give any names. I don't want to draw attention to people that don't deserve it. But if you're in enough Facebook groups, you'll see people talking about me. I don't believe in drawing attention to people that don't deserve it. I'd rather focus on the producers and talk about them, and focus on the brands that I like that these producers make, and give exposure to them, because they're the ones that need it. They're the ones that can't pay for it, but need it, and those are the ones that I want to help out. So those are the ones that I want to tell you about, and that's why we're going to do all these great reviews. I've got a bunch of bottles of stuff down here that I'm going to do reviews for you guys, give you my honest opinion on them, give you some background on the production and stuff. It's going to be great. We're going to have some great reviews for you. So look for some great content. If you haven't looked through some of the recent stuff that I posted, like I did a video tour of La Arandina, which is the Camarena's distillery. Beautiful distillery. Great. Big distillery. They do great stuff out of it. That's where Carrera's going to be moved to. So Carrera's coming out of there. That's Mauricio's baby, and he is so proud. And just, you can feel his passion. And that's one thing I love him. When I was with him on this last trip, and we were talking, we were sitting at the distillery, they had me try 2 different flavor profiles that they're working on, and or 2 different flavor profiles, and said, which one do you like the best? And I go, well, this one's is really good. And they said, I go, is this the new Carrera flavor profile? And he lit up and he's like, yeah, I created it here at this distillery, so we're going to move it from El Aden, which is his cousin's distillery where he was working on it, to his family's distillery. And he was sitting there like, and he's like, stood up, and he had this big old proud, his chest was out. He was, pride was just beaming from him, and tears were coming out of his eyes. And so those are the kind of people I want to tell you guys about. These are the people that are proud people that aren't in it just for making money, but they're in it because that's their life. And a lot of people don't know. They don't hear about Mauricio Camarena a lot. He's a cousin to Carlos and Felipe. Their grandfathers were brothers. So there was Don Agustin and Don Felipe, which is the El Tesoro, the name Don Felipe de El Tesoro. That's where their grandfathers. They were brothers. And originally they built La Alteña together. They both worked on Tapatio together. They both developed Tapatio together. And then they had a fight. And when they had the fight, Don Agustin said, I'm out, and built his own distillery, which is Casa Camarena, or La Arandina right now. And La Arandina, the name, if I said in the video, is to honor the women of Arandas, because right now, Don Agustin died in like 1970. So his wife took it over. She's an Orandine, which I'm sure you've heard of the Orandine family out of the Valle. She runs the distillery now. She's the matriarch of the family. She runs the distillery, but manages it, owns it. Mauricio took over as the master distiller and the operator now of the distillery. He's very proud of that because he grew up in that distillery while his brothers and stuff were making Familia Camarena originally, as well as other brands. He grew up playing in that distillery, living practically in the distillery as his family worked there. And his dream was to carry on the tradition. And now that he's doing it, he's so proud. And it's amazing to watch him and to talk about it. So I'm really pleased. I'm really excited for him. I'm super proud of him because I knew it's something he wanted to do. And when you get to meet people like this and become friends with them and see them do stuff like that, for me, it's really special. And so I like to share that with you guys and let you know about it. So I'm excited to let you know that the Carrera brand will be moving to the family Camarena distillery instead of him working in his cousin's distillery doing it, which is amazing. So when it comes out, I'll let you know about it. We do have the single barrel that we're doing with them. That's coming out of the new distillery. But once they start doing the Blanco and stuff there, I'll let you guys know about it. And I'll tell you what load to look for. You can try it. It's going to be really good. And he's beyond the moon. He's got his catchphrase, let's get the ball rolling, and he's excited and he's ready to go. And I can't wait for you guys to really get to know Mauricio Camarena. He's a special guy. He's like a brother to me. So, okay. So, there you go. Admitting, he even admitted it's better. Yes. He admitted it was better. We both admitted it was better. We both agreed. It was kind of a consensus. It was his son Eduardo, Mauricio, and myself sitting at a table, and they poured 2 samples in a glass. I didn't know which was which. It was blind, and they said that one of them had a square on the written in Sharpie on the base, and one had a triangle. So they said, try those and let me know which one you think's best. And so I tried them and said, I think the square's better. And they go, and then I saw him start crying, and I was like, why are you crying? And he's like, I did it, man. And I'll post the video. I have a video. I recorded him talking about it. It's like, I got up and I prepared the yeast at 3 a.m. and I wanted to make sure the temperature of the distillery was right. And we did this and we did this and we did this. And he goes, and the thing that makes me even more proud now is the fact that my son just complimented me on what I just accomplished. And it's like, I mean, we were all just almost like a blubbering mess, just how proud we were of him and what he's done. And you could just feel the pride easing at him. So it's going to be great. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you haven't tried the 54 that we did, batch number 1 on ferment still, you got to try that too. That's something that I worked on with Mauricio. Batch 1 is better than the stuff that's in the stores. I think it's just so much more refined. So you haven't tried that, try that. But then when the new stuff comes out, I'll let you know too, and you guys can try it. It's the regular Blanco. They don't use the 54 for the regular Blanco right yet. I'm trying to get them to do that and to throw some of it in barrels to aging. So right now they're using the old flavor profile for aging, but it still comes out really, really good. So the double wood añejo we have is absolutely phenomenal. I said it was better than Raysol. I meant it. I couldn't say it on the video that I did there because I didn't want to mention another brand during the video, but it is literally better than the Raysol 10-year, which is hard for me to say because I love that Raysol 10-year. All right, so there's a lot of talking. I needed to have another sip. So that's Mauricio, man. He's my buddy. The Camarenas, I love him. I love him. I think that's about it. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other questions you guys have? Anything you want to know about? Oh, I'll show you this one. This is cool. Here. When I was meeting Ileana Partida, she gave me a present, and I was like so honored. So she makes a tequila where it's a really small batch out of her distillery, which is Hacienda de Oro. It's called Hacienda de Oro. It's in Amatitan, Mexico. She gives me this box, and she's like, hey, this is for you as a gift. It's called Amatitans. I'm like, oh, is this imported in the U.S.? It's not imported in the U.S. I'm like, ooh. So the only people that have it are people that were special guests here at the distillery that I wanted to gift it to. You're one of them. Check this out. Look at that presentation. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's an añejo. This is bottle number 3. But look at that. It looks beautiful. Look at that. So I'm excited to do a review on this and tell you guys about it. 42% alcohol by volume, it looks like. 84 proof. Beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So I was honored that she decided to give me one of these at the distillery. And we talked a little bit about the Partita history, which was great. So I'll do a review of this, and you guys can learn about this particular brand. I'll ask her for some production details on it, let you know. Hey, EBA Boxing, how you doing, buddy? Bienvenido, welcome. Glad you could make it. EBA's was with the collective for a long time before, so he's been around for a while. I know when I first started, was it when I first started, or had been around for a little while? We did a bachelor party for EBA Boxing because he was getting married, and we did a nighttime bachelor party live stream, and I sent him a really nice bottle of tequila as a wedding present. So he's been around for a while. I know EBA 101 Boxing for a long time. How's the bottle aging going? The bottle aging's going great. I got a bunch of aging projects that are done, but I'm just letting them marry and stuff before I actually start drinking them. What are the most popular brands in Mexico? Good question. You probably wouldn't be surprised in what the most popular brands are. Jose Cuervo Traditional, really popular. Herradura. Don Julio, 70th anniversary, extremely popular. San Matias Gran Reserva is popular because it's inexpensive. Tres Generaciones is popular. The people of Mexico, they typically don't know a whole lot about tequila. People in the U.S. seem to be more educated than people in Mexico. They don't know. The reason why if you ask people, like when I talk to people in Mexico and I'm like, so why do you drink that? My grandfather drank it. My dad drank it. My brothers drink it. So I drink it. And it's like, oh, okay. Have you thought about trying something else? No, not really. It's what my family drinks. Or we like Herradura. We've drinking it forever. Or the Cristalinos are really smooth. And I mean, I get the same answers. It's like they don't really know a whole lot about tequila. Americans tend to be more educated about tequila than Mexicans are, unless they're the ones in the production of tequila. So that's what the most popular brands are. Believe it or not, Jose Cuervo Traditional, 1800, Maestro Doble, Herradura, Don Julio, 70th, Don Julio in general. It's the same stuff that's pretty popular here. It's the same stuff in Mexico, except they like to do it with shots, with lime and salt. They're not much into sipping. They're more into drinking to get drunk. Siete Leguas is somewhat popular, not extremely popular. Some people like it, but it's not as it's not as popular as Cuervo and Herradura and all those other brands. But you can find it there. Same with San Matias. The San Matias Gran Reserva in Mexico is a mixto. It's 70% agave, 30% piloncillo sugar, which is kind of like a Mexican brown sugar. They love it there because it's inexpensive. They don't like to spend a lot of money on tequila in Mexico. That's why sometimes you can go into the shops and find some of the prize bottles we look for here in the U.S. Still up on the shelf for a couple $100 or whatever, because they don't typically like to spend a lot of money unless they're serious collectors, which those are kind of far and few in between. Hey Jan, welcome. Bienvenido. Glad you can make it. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. What is that? Any idea why Latvia is the number 2 consumers of tequila? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea about Latvia. I know U.S. is the number 1 consuming country of tequila in the world. But I don't know. I don't know about Latvia. I thought Europe would be up there, like UK and stuff, because they get the Ocho and stuff out of there. But I don't know. I don't pay attention to too much of the rest of the world. I just try to focus on what is happening here in the U.S. since that's the majority of my audience. But that's kind of interesting if that's the case, that Latvia is the number 2 consumers of tequila. That's interesting stuff. Now, I'm more about focusing on what's going on, where the trends are here in the U.S., and then what's going on in Mexico, so I can educate people here in the U.S. about what's coming down the pike for us. So I don't get into the other stuff. I do know that tequila production is dropping. They're not producing as much as they used to. They're not selling as much as they used to. Sales have dropped. Bourbon prices have dropped dramatically. There's overabundance now of whiskeys and bourbons, so the bourbon drinkers are getting happy now that their stuff is not all overpriced anymore. So that's happening. There's a lot of things happening. It all happens in cycles. So, but yeah, there's some people have asked if I think that the prices of tequila are going to come down. I don't think so. I think, and one of the things I talked to, was talking to some of the producers about it, like, people think because the agave prices are dropping that you guys are going to lower your prices. I said, but I just got to tell them, this is a chance for you guys to actually make money now. And they're like, yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you. I said, there's times where they didn't raise their prices because the distributors and stuff were like, we don't want the raised prices. So they weren't making as much money on stuff. But now, because the agave prices are dropping, they're able to make some money so they can afford to do other cool things for us, which is cool. But they said some of the distributors are coming back saying, now that the agave prices are cheap, can you give us cheaper prices? And they said, well, you didn't tell us to charge you more when the prices were higher, did you? And, which is a good question. Which is like, yeah, no. When the prices went up, you didn't say, hey, you want to go ahead and give us an extra, mark it up an extra 20% for us. On us so you can make some money on it. They didn't do that, but now they expect them to cut their prices when the agave prices drop. It's like, no, we're gonna be able to make money so we can put food on our table and feed our employees and be able to do some new projects and stuff for people that love our brand, and which, God bless them, go for it. So that's what's going to happen. You're not going to see prices drop, but you'll see more cooler projects coming out that will be even more exciting. And you can bet if there's new projects coming out, I will know about it and tell you guys about it, and maybe even be involved in putting some of that stuff together too, because that's kind of what I do. I'm not just about, trying to get free bottles and do reviews. I'm about helping the brands, and any brand will tell you that. Okay, so any other questions? Anything else you guys want to know about? We got all kinds of barrels coming in. We got all kinds of good stuff we talked about. We got all kinds of reviews coming up for you guys. We're going to jump into some mezcals too, Mezcal Mondays. We're going to get more into other agave spirits. You guys can learn about that stuff. Don't forget that if you haven't picked it up yet, you want to know what a real ancestral tequila tastes like. Not a fake one made by a tequila distillery, but a real one. Grab the Parados Equis Patria and get involved in the live tasting we're doing on May 23rd at 7 p.m. It's free. It's going to be here on YouTube. Just buy the bottle so you can drink along with us and taste it, and then we'll tell you how to expand your palate and teach you about tasting notes. And I mean, it's going to be a free class basically. So all you have to do is buy the bottle so you can taste along. That's it. Thank you, Goof Sadji Google. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Yes, EBA 101. Yes, great picks. We have some amazing stuff coming. It's going to be an epic year, the best year ever, I think, for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. It's going to be so good. We get so many great stuff that people that aren't going to be members are going to be going, well, where did you get that? How can I get one of those? And I'll be like, well, you didn't join the collective. It's $10. It's nothing. You get so much benefits from it. And they're like, and then they'll be like, I don't know how to get it. And they're like, well, you should have joined the collective. I told you about it. Because we had a Yayo Repo barrel coming in. Last Yayo Repo barrel we did, barrel number 7 was, I think it's 7. 7? Yeah, 7. It's epic. Epic. It was the best barrel they had. We sold it out in 2 weeks, just with members. But I had people messaging me saying, hey, can we get some of your barrel? I'm like, you have to join the collective. And they're like, oh. And so they ended up selling it all. And then they were like, well, I couldn't get a bottle until you didn't join the collective. So you don't want to miss out on any of this stuff coming in. We got the Yayo single barrel repo. We got 2 barrels of San Matias Grand Reserve coming in next week that are amazing, and they're inexpensive. It's like $50, $55. It's going to be like right on there. Inexpensive. Really good. And yes, the double wood single barrel Carrera Añejo, 52.2%, 104.4 proof. It's gonna blow the shoes off all the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective members. They're gonna go crazy over it. It's so good. It's like Raysol on steroids. Raysol 10-year on steroids. So good. Aged in French oak Napa Cab barrels. And it is so good. So good. Oh my God. I was melting when I was trying it. It was so good. You guys are going to love it. I'm so excited. So excited. It's going to be the best year ever for the collective. And then we have the Viva Mango Blanco we talked about. We got all that stuff coming in. It's going to be amazing. $10 a month. Link is in the description. It helps support what I do. And then you can become part of the community too. And you get allocated bottles too, like the Siete Veces 10 from Cascoine. Went all the collective members. All the allocated G4 stuff went to the collective members. They all get first shot at it. So it won't show up on Ferment and Still. They get first shot at it on the collective. That's what we do. And then for anybody that's a member here on YouTube, you guys got to see my video, my vlog, while I was in Mexico. I checked in with you guys every morning, gave you a secret members only video of what was going on that day, what we were working on, with projects I was going to be, who was going to be with, what kind of project I was going to be working on, all kinds of cool stuff. So there's benefits for all kinds of members. Excited for the Four Copas 110 Añejo. Wait, I got 110 Blanco, Repo, and Añejo. We got the whole set of 110 from Four Copas, not just Añejo. So the Four Copas, I got the 40% Blanco, Repo, Añejo, and the 110 proof Blanco, Repo, and Añejo. So we got 6 bottles. I'm going to have to split that into 2 groups. We're going to do one review. We'll do the high proof. Review number 1, we'll do the regular proof, and then review number 2, we'll do the 110, because otherwise I would probably be falling around drunk by the time I finish that. I have another brand that's high proof too. It's 96, I think 40. No, what's the proof of it? All of their expressions are high proof for this brand, and it's like, okay, I need to do the review on this. They're all high proof, so it's like 5 different bottles, and I'm like, eesh. So I have to be careful that I just don't get completely trashed doing the review. But that one's coming up soon too, so keep an eye on that one, especially if you're a high proof person. You're gonna love that. A lot of exciting stuff coming up, you guys. A lot of exciting stuff. Every time I go to Mexico, I always try to come back with more things, more projects, more things that I can bring in that are special that no one else is gonna get. These are exclusive. No one else is going to get them. You won't find them anyplace else. People are like, oh, I'll just grab one when I see it. You won't see it in the stores. You will not see it in the stores. It's exclusive to us. And one of them, which is going to be really cool, is an extra añejo from Santo Fino, a single barrel extra añejo. They're not, from what the CEO told me, they're not planning on doing an extra añejo. They're going to blend this into the añejos to flavor the añejos. But I got 2 bottles. I said, we want to do an extra añejo with you. So if you want, and like any of those, and you want them, we'll do a single barrel for you guys. You'll be the only ones in the country ever to get a single barrel extra añejo from Santo Fino, which is Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri's tequila. So I'll do a review of this one probably next week. I'll do the tasting video of it. We have the Siempre Rebel Cask samples coming in next week too. I'll have to do that. I got some reviews we're going to do. I got Delantero to review. I got Ensueño to review. I got a bunch of other stuff to review. I'm probably going to spend most of May pretty much buzzed because of all the reviews I need to do for you guys. Exactly, Flavor Town, baby. Boom. Boom. As the Red Rocker says on the promo video he did for me. Boom. Corazon de Agave does not say not additives on Tequila Matchmaker. Fortaleza says no additives. Lalo says no additives. G4 says no additives. So what? So what? Who cares? They didn't buy into the program. It won't say no additives unless they paid to be part of the program. They didn't want to pay to be part of the program. A lot of brands didn't. There's a lot of brands on there that don't use additives that will not be part of the Tequila Matchmaker program because it's not a legit program. That's what happened. People are thinking, oh, it's corruption. No, it's not a legitimate program. That's why. There's a lot of brands that will not buy into it, that aren't going to pay the $2,000. And actually, I had a brand tell me that they were going to invoice them for $2,500 a SKU to participate in that program. And I was like, what? I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what. They were going to get me an invoice to show me an invoice of what happened and stuff, but $2,500 a SKU. That's crazy. That's robbery. So, just because they're not on that additive-free program doesn't mean that they use additives. San Matias does not. I've been at the distillery. I taste the stuff straight from the barrel. There's no additives in it. You don't put additives in a barrel. No additives. Confirmed. Confirmed by the Hombre. Hombre confirmed. 100% no additives used. There you go. There's a lot of brands that are not on that list that are additive free. Lots. So if you only use the stuff on that list, congratulations, you're part of the marketing program. I don't follow that list. It's garbage. It's garbage. What's that? That is crazy. Pay more for stuff you didn't put in the... Yeah. It's crazy. It's like... The whole thing's just dumb. It's dumb. But people are so brainwashed about the whole additives thing. It's like, just get off of it. You can tell if they use additives or not. It's easy. But they created a boogeyman and they scared people. And congratulations, you're part of the scared people. Doesn't scare me. I know who uses additives. I know who doesn't. And I try to tell you guys, and you want to believe me, you can believe me, or you can believe somebody that's trying to charge people and extort money from them. I'm not that way. I'd rather help the brands that are doing it right and tell you guys about it and let you guys, try it and enjoy the good tequila. San Matias does not use additives ever. Confirmed, 100%. Been there. Been to the distillery 5 times. Tasted straight from the barrel. Watch my Instagram. You can see pulling samples right out of the barrel and tasting them, drinking them. And that's the same stuff we're getting. No additives. These are good producers, good people, doing it right. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox now. Yeah, the stories you hear when you talk to people out there are ridiculous on stuff that happened. That's why it got shut down. It's ridiculous. Can you imagine what it would be like if we went into the Soviet Union for vodka and tried to tell them that they need to make their vodka a certain way? How would that go over? And here we are going into a country and trying to tell them how to make their national drink, their national spirit that they have protected. The government owns the rights to it. And yet here we are going in and trying to tell them what they need to do and how they need to do things, and that we need to have some person who's an American guy that has no clue what he's talking about, tries to get them to pay to say that they're not doing certain things. How would that go over if you were from that country and you were a producer and they tried to do that to you? That's the way a lot of producers felt. That's a lot of people are telling me. Like, why should we let somebody tell us what we are and aren't doing? I don't know about you guys, but have you ever seen a lab test from any of the stuff they've done? I've never seen one posted. Have you? They talk about transparency. I've never seen the results of a lab test posted. Some of the brands have told me they asked for proof from the lab tests and they were not given any. It never happened. They never got it. So how do we even know they're doing it? No, but I don't want something that didn't naturally get in my... Well, then don't drink an aged tequila, because that's not naturally in your drink. Right? Drink a Blanco. And you know what producers don't do it, so stick with them. I'll tell you what producers I know don't do it. I told you earlier which ones do. Someone was asking about Nosotros in 1438. They call them the candy shop for a reason. The candy castle. The candy castle's the Hilardo Partida's place, but candy factory. Well, you usually drink Blanco, you're good. But stick with the producers you know that don't do it. San Matias doesn't. Siete Leguas, El Pendillo, La Teña, El Mexicano, El Tequileño, Fortaleza, La Tequileña. There's a lot of them that don't do it. And some of them won't pay to be on that list because they don't need it. They don't need to. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need somebody telling them that they're not doing it. They know they're not doing it. You can taste it and see that they aren't. So you like the flavor of it, drink it. Enjoy it. I'm not a whiskey guy either. I'm a tequila guy. I would expect you to be into sweet tequila since your rate rate's also high, and that's a caramel bomb. No, it's not. I rate it high because I like the wood and I like the agave notes in it. It's French oak. There's no additives in Raysol at all. It's all straight new French oak. And if you've tried enough new French oak, stuff before, you can verify that's the flavor that's in it. You get the wood notes, you get the caramel, you get the butterscotch, you get all the good French oak stuff. And I've been there watching them take the brand new barrels and fill them with Blanco. They have special barrels that were designed for Reyssol. There's no additives in it. That's not true. Now, see, there you're drawing something here that's completely off kilter, because Tears of Llorona basically has no agave in it. None. It's all liquor. It's all scotch, brandy, and sherry. That's what you get. That's the flavor note you get. I don't get any agave from Tears of Llorona. They're known for that, for being more of a whiskey typed extra añejo. You want to try an extra añejo that still has agave? Tapatio Excelencia. That's the best one that's agave forward. It still has agave in it. Tears of Llorona, that's all liquor. It's all scotch and brandy and sherry. Mi Gente does it right? Okay, sure. When will Fortaleza be back? I don't know. I don't buy Fortaleza. Someone said the F word. There you go. Yeah. It's overhyped. If you watch the Curiosity Public blind tasting I did, where I put the Fortaleza and Añejo in there, it finished last. Finished last among all the options. They rated it the bottom. Do you have a list of your top 5 rated 5 agave tequilas anywhere that's success? No, I don't. I didn't keep a list. You just go through and watch the reviews. You can find them on there. I see a bottle now and then, but it never. Yeah, it's overpriced. Tapatio is an amazing brand, and the Tapatio Excelencia is one of the best extra añejos on the market as far as being agave forward. Reysol's got a lot of agave forwardness to it too, but it's more of a French oak flavor profile, which has got that nice butterscotch note and sweeter oak notes that come through on it from being French oak, which, you know, is typically used for wine. Oh, you need to try more tequila then. Tapatio 110 is great, but you haven't tried the Carrera 54 yet. I think the Carrera 54 is the best high proof Blanco on the market. So try the Carrera 54 on Ferment and Still. Pick up a bottle and try it. It'll change your life. I saw that Añejo blind and ended up getting Corrido Añejo. It's my current sipper along with Cierto Reposado. There you go. Yes. The Corrido did well there. The Añejo Deep is one that also did really well. I love the Nueve Uno Añejo Deep. It's really good. But Fortaleza finished last. They were like, yeah, okay. And I threw that one in there just to see what would happen. And sure enough, they're like, yeah. And they even said on their blinds, Fortaleza never does well. And then Fortaleza sent me a note or something. One of the guys from Fortaleza was like, yeah, it's because they're whiskey drinkers and they don't know what they're talking about, and they made some stuff up like that. And I was like, whatever. Let's not make excuses. Just deal with it. It happens. Now, you guys are going to notice I'm not one to put a filter on, first of all. I tell you the way it is. I'm unbiased. I don't agree with you. We can have a disagreement, but we can still be friends. But as long as it's a civil discussion, let's have a disagreement and we can still be friends. But let's not get nasty. Let's not attack anybody or do anything like that. Let's keep things civil, it's being civil so far, which is good. But open your eyes. Look at other things. Look at other brands and stuff. Don't make assumptions that just because somebody's not part of a certain program that they've got something to hide. That's wrong. I don't approve of that. That's completely wrong. I go to these people's distilleries. I see how they do things. I'm there. I'm in the middle of it. I taste things out of the barrels. I know these people and I know what they do and what they don't do. So I can verify there's a lot of people out there that don't use additives. There's some that do. I know the ones that use additives, and there's some of them that will admit it. You say, why do you use additives? They go, because that's what Americans like. They like the sweet flavor profiles. I'm like, okay, good. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what sells. So you're an open-minded person. You're here to learn. Okay, good. Well, I'm here to teach you. So, well, there's a reason why they were shut down. All right, here. Picture this, right? We go into a foreign country and we try to tell somebody that, look, to the organization that's responsible for making the verifications of what's on the label, we tell them, we're going to do this and you like it or not. And we're going to charge people for it. And if you're on our list, we can assume that you're, not doing things right. And they're like, no, you can't do that. We're the only organization that can certify something. Doesn't listen, does his own thing anyways. They're tolerable. They tolerate him, put up with it. And then he tries bullying people. Okay. You guys don't know the whole story, and I don't really want to go into it that much about what happened, but trust me, there's more to it than you know. I've heard the stories. I just came back from Mexico. People were talking about it. The CRT is the one that's responsible for verifying all that stuff. They told him, look, it has to be verified in order for anything to be on the label. Now, this is the way I would have handled this. If it was me and I was trying to do something where I wanted more transparency in the industry and it was something I wanted to work for, this is the way I would have handled it. Instead of picking a fight with the agency that's responsible for verifying what's in tequila and not, and for regulating and making sure the rules are followed, I would have said this. Okay, look, they said anything that has to be on the label has to be 100% verifiable. That's what they stated at first, right? And I said, okay, can we work together on putting a program together like this where, let's say, stuff that's verifiable is that if there's vegetable glycerin in it, that's easily verifiable, right? And they would have said, yeah, absolutely. We can tell there's vegetable glycerin in it. So how about if we talk to the brands about putting no vegetable glycerin added on the label? The CRT would have said, okay, yeah, we can do that because that's verifiable. And then say, okay, how about if we say there's no artificial sweeteners added on the label? Yeah, because we can test for artificial sweeteners because there's no artificial sweeteners coming out of the still. And there's not going to be any artificial sweeteners in the barrel. We can test for that. That's verifiable. Okay. How about if we say there's no, sugar added, because there won't be any sugar coming out of the still, because in order for it to come out of the still, it's got to evaporate and then recondensate. Yeah, that's verifiable. You can put that on the label. But no, they wanted to just say additives, and additives was too general, and in some cases unverifiable because of the flavoring additives and stuff. So yeah, there was a pay to play factor with it too. Yeah. And brands are like, why would I need to pay? You're not even a true verification division for tequila. And when I heard $2,500 a SKU, So if you have 5 products for your brand, it's $2,500 each, is what I was told they were being charged in Mexico. I was like, whoa, that's a lot of money for a small brand, for a small distillery trying to make it work. And they're like, yeah, they were reported. Copies of these invoices were given to the CRT, from what I heard. I don't 100% have it verified. That's what I was told. And that's where some of these problems came through. Why would you do that to somebody? If you're really serious about transparency, why not put something together where it's okay, look, hey, these brands, let's have it where if you want transparency, if you really care about transparency and want your the consumers to know that you're being transparent, put no added glycerin on the label. Put no added sweeteners on the label. No added sugar. Those are the things you can test for. And you see those on the label, then okay, it's verifiable, 100% verifiable, so they're not doing it. But no, they had to stick with the additives, and they wouldn't budge on anything else like that. And it's like, the producers didn't care enough, really. It's like, okay, look, I can still use, the producers were coming to me and saying, I can still use vanilla flavoring because they can't detect it. They were pushing bottles through. There was brands on the list that had additives in it that told me they did it to test it, to see if they were even tested. They had stuff that went in with additives that was on the list. Brands told me that. So that's one of the reasons why it's shut down, because it was deceptive to the consumer. And that's what CRT said, because there was stuff in there that, and when I asked Grover, I'm like, Grover, how do you test? He goes, well, we can't test for flavoring additives, but you can pretty much assume that if they're using glycerin, they're using flavoring additives and stuff. So we just tested for glycerin, and if it had glycerin, then we knew that flavoring additives. It didn't have glycerin, then we just assumed that it was additive free, which is not correct. That's it. This is how the Tequila Review channel got me feeling. What Tequila Review channel is that? I don't know what Tequila Review channel you're talking about. How's the supply of 54 doing? I burned through a ton of that stuff, probably 6 or 7 cases already. Don't want to. It's getting to the point where we're going to be running out soon. So I think we have we're down to the last 100 bottles or something. So it's going to be going pretty fast. So yeah, I gotta buy some more too and stock up, because I had to make sure I don't run out as well, because that stuff's even better than the new stuff that's in the stores. It's so good. We did a side by side with the batch 2 from our batch, Jan, and our batch was, everyone's like hands down still said our batch was better. And I think it's the like year and a half to 2 years that it sat in the stainless tank, just kind of marrying and melding together, that made it great. But yeah, there's reviewers out there that get paid, that do reviews. I don't get paid to do any of these things. So, here, I just tell you what it is. I have no affiliation with anybody or anything. And I'm just relaying to you information that people gave to me. I'm not a fan of dividing up the industry and turning people against each other and making good people think bad things of other good people because they think there's something being hidden from them, which there isn't. It just hasn't been a good thing at all, period. It's caused a lot of issues. And I'm glad to see it gone. I'm glad to see it over with so we can focus on the important things of highlighting the people that are doing it right, getting the word out about that without having to force them to pay somebody for something like that. Yeah. Thank you, EBA. Yeah, keep it real. That's why a lot of my people that watch me and stuff stick with me, because they know I've never lied to you guys. I got no reason to lie. I got nothing involved with any of these producers or anything. I just do this to help them. I do this because I believe in their product. I know what they're doing. I go there. I do videos. I give you guys information. And I call people out. I mean, even if some of these guys make bad stuff, I let you know. Hell, I ripped on Volan's Still Strength in a video, made fun of it because it was just hardcore burning. My stomach was on fire for 3 hours after I tried that stuff. I'm good friends with Felipe, and he still understands. He knows I didn't like it, and he's okay with it. He knows I was being honest. That's the way I run this channel. So I got no agenda. What's the tequila mujer's favorite tequila? My wife, Mujeres, she doesn't drink tequila. she drinks wine. She's a wine drinker. But her favorite tequila is anyone with additives. And I still love her. So she likes the stuff with the sweet additives and stuff in it. Well, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. If she likes it, let her drink it. Because then I have some place to, when I get bottles that are sent to me that are not the right stuff for me, I can give them to her if it's got additives and sweetened stuff so she can enjoy it. We have a bottle of 818 in our pantry that was given to me for a review that it's still in there. She hasn't drank it, but it's still sitting in there. But I know she tasted it and she goes, that's good. So we kept it for her. I have a bottle of Sincoro too that was given to me for a review, and she won't drink that either. She drinks wine. She's a wine drinker. She's not a tequila person. I still need to bring her to Mexico with me so she can meet all these great people that I know, all the industry people that I talk to and deal with on a regular basis. And that's one thing too, you guys, you know, I'm not just somebody that's sitting here spewing garbage. I have distributors that I work with that, you know, want me to review products and let them know whether they should carry it or not. If I think that it's good enough, you know, for something that, you know, we'd want to offer on Ferment and Still or whatever, and I think it's like, you know, not a good quality, they'll send me stuff to say, hey, we have a brand that wants to come with us. Will you try it and tell us what you think? And I do it for free. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I have brands that send me stuff saying, we'd like to hear your feedback on what project we're working on, and can you try this and let us know? And I've got sample bottles of stuff that I'm like, yeah, okay, I like it, but this is, you know, and I give them feedback on it, and I do it for free. I do it to help them. I don't charge them for it. And then I hope that someday we can do a special project where we work on something really cool and unique for the collective. And if it's good, we'll buy the whole batch and make it exclusive for the collective, for my serious tequila collectors, tequila aficionados that want good stuff. Anybody in the collective will tell you I've never, ever, 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 ever served up an additive tequila to anybody in my collective. Ever. I was caught up in the additive-free thing too in the beginning, but then I was taught. I was taught by people I respect in the industry the correct things, the right way, what's really happening. I listened. Keep an open mind, and I listened. I don't just assume that they're crooked, because that's not the case. They're good people. And they're doing things right. They're doing things the way their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers did it. Passionate people. And there's a bunch of them that do additives, that all they care about is making money. They just crank out batches of Blanco and try to flavor it for each different brand they do. There's those guys. They're there. I know which ones they are. We all know which ones they are. Those are the ones you got to stay away from. Every day I get people that say, have you heard about this brand that came out? What do you think of it? Every day. And it's like, well, do you know what distillery it came from? No. Well, why are you even thinking about it then? If you don't know the distillery, you don't know where it's coming from, you don't know the people behind it, why would you buy it? It's like if somebody off the street walked up and said, hey, you want to try this brownie? You can be like, oh yeah, sure, I love brownies. Let me try your brownie. And you don't even know the person, nothing about him. You're just getting, for all you know, it could be laced with something, or it's like, no. You're going to go like, no, I don't want your brownie, kid. Get away from me. Do the same thing with the distilleries. You don't know the distillery, then don't drink or buy their tequila. It's like, ooh, I saw this. I get all the time. Hey, what do you think about this tequila? It's like, I don't know about it. I don't follow anything that comes out of that distillery because it's nothing I've ever had from there is good. So who cares? Let it go. There's no law out there saying that you have to try every single tequila that comes out on the market. And you have to know about every single tequila on the market. You don't. You try to do that, you're going to die trying, and it's not going to be a pleasant death. Stick with the ones you know. Those are the ones that need your support. Don't just buy a bottle once and say this is good and then that's it. And post pictures on Instagram and stuff all the time. Finish your bottle and buy some more. That's what keeps these people in business. That's what supports these brands. You like Felipe stuff. You like G4. You like Peralta, which are fantastic tequilas. Keep buying them. Look. Look. I do what I say. These are all Peraltas. 110 proof Blanco. I love it. It's amazing stuff. Reposado from Peralta. Amazing stuff. Delicious. Another bottle of 110 proof Blanco. I like it so much I bought 2 bottles. I support the producers by buying their stuff. Keep buying it. That's what keeps these guys going. You don't even want to know how many bottles of Ocho I have. You see this whole shelf right here? That's Ocho, 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 Ocho. That whole door, that's all Ocho stuff right there. Cascoin, Cascoin. El Tesoro, El Tesoro, El Tesoro, El Tesoro. Cabita Serrero. El Tesoro, El Tesoro, El Tesoro. 1, 2, 3 organic. El Tesoro. I got El Tesoro Paradiso. I got El Tesoro Extra Niejo. I got my Reysols. I got my regular Reysols. I got my 10-year Reysols. I know they do it right. They don't use additives. Diablito from 1, 2, 3. 4 boxes of it. Support the brands you like, the ones you enjoy, by buying more than 1 bottle and sticking with them. That's what they need. That's what they want. They want you to be their customers. They don't want you trying every tequila that's coming out from every distillery and wondering whether it has additives or not. Buy from the ones you know that don't. And I'll introduce you to some more that don't, so you can expand your offering. But you're going to have to watch the reviews here. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn about these people, learn what they do. Ask questions. Come to the interviews. Ask questions of them. Explore their passion. And then you'll be able to expand who and what you're more comfortable buying tequilas from. You won't need stupid things like additive free programs and stuff. You won't need it. All right, we're going on to 2.5 hours now. It's been a long time. I'm ready to call it a night. Yes, thank you for coming out and celebrating my birthday with me. I know I kind of went on a tangent here. I do this every once in a while when I do these live streams, but come back. Visit with me on the live streams. Let's talk some more about this stuff. But let's be reasonable, right? Let's be adults. Let's think like reasonable people and not be brainwashed. And let's not believe everything we hear from everybody. Let's do some research. Let's get information. Let's get details. Let's make sure we know what we're talking about before we start doing stuff. I go to Mexico 2 or 3 times a year and spend time with the producers. One-on-one with them at the distillery. Watching how they do things, tasting things out of the barrels, hanging out with them, getting to know them. That's the best way. And I do that so I can share with you guys what I've learned, who I respect, who I don't respect, and so on. And that's what I'm here for. Any chance of more of the 24 G4 XA available, or is it just long gone? No, they got some more extra Añejo coming. They got Repo coming. I was just talking to G4 the other day. I was talking to the guys there. They're the Blanco's getting stocked up now. The Repo's coming in next, and they're doing the Madeira. The Madeira Blanco should be here next week. And then they're going to do a Madeira Repo, and then you're going to see like the Madeira coming out every 6 months. It's going to become a regular product. And then the 108 proof is going to be restocked soon too. But we should see some more extra Añejo coming up here as well within the next couple of months. The stuff that was pretty much out, there's still some stuff out at some stores. We sold out of all the stuff that we had for the collective. It went because we had such a good price on it. But you'll see some more popping up in the stores. They said some more's coming. So, but we have some great extra Añejos that are coming in for. Thank you so much for the super chat, EBA. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. We have some more extra Añejos and stuff coming up for the exclusive buys for the collective. So you'll be seeing those. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, EBA. We'll have you pretty much with all the extra Añejos and good stuff in the collective that you could handle. So don't worry, Jan. We'll have you covered. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. I've been talking for the last 2.5 hours. Like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, guys. So follow my reviews, watch my interviews and my informational videos that I post. Listen to what I tell you. I provide facts. I give you all the information you need. Anytime you have a question about something in the video, feel free to reach out to me. I always answer people's questions. I make myself available. If you're a member of the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, tag me on a post. I always answer stuff on the Discord. I'm always there to talk to you guys, to answer your questions and stuff. And make sure you have the information you need to make informed decisions. Smart, intelligent, informed decisions. And until next time, salute. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for sharing my birthday with me. I appreciate it. Bye.